2.
Sucks. Okay.
Slapped up us in the face.
That's right, Bengals. I gotta admit, I wasn't completely unhappy that day. I was unhappy about my Browns, but you know,
Sorry, Cleveland.
it happens. So welcome to Game Day Battle, where Cleveland sports news meets biased and outspoken opinion. We got most of the Game Day crew here. Brett is at his brother's birthday party, so we gave him the night off for that.
Happy birthday, Derek.
That's his name? Derek. You just making shit up over there?
That's from Step Brothers.
All right. Now that we've got the reference, great. So we're gonna carry it home tonight. Ramon Torres, DST. I'm Mike Glass, and I think we should get into the Browns right off the bat tonight. I hate to do it, guys. We're gonna have to get into Buckeyes. It's a sorry subject, I know,
man.
But we can talk about the good. We got to talk about the bad. So,
yep.
Buckeyes, I'd like to even just hit on the Indians a little bit because it looks like we're heading down a bad path into oblivion. But I think beyond that, it's time to get into it. That's right. Let's do it.
Man.
All right, so the Browns had a rough couple of, a rough first week and a decent second week.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to sort of look at the totality of the beginning of the season here. We didn't get to do a show last week because some idiot was on his honeymoon. So
It's all right.
So the guys gave me the night off for that. So we're gonna get into thanks, man. We're gonna get into the Browns both weeks tonight. I want to start off with overall opinion from everybody. Just give me what you think about the team in general through the first 2 games of this season compared to what we thought we had coming into this season. So Ramon, take it away, man.
Big expectations by us Clevelanders as well as most of the rest of the nation. But we look good. We came out firing, but then, you know, our Achilles heel, the fourth quarter came around, first game, and we went down. And the second game looked all right, but overall, I see a lot of positives instead of negatives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm liking that more, where last year was more negative than positive. So I'm seeing positivity from even the coaching side. You know, he seems like he knows what he's doing back there by calling the plays and being our head coach as well. So I'm liking that.
Are you sort of then looking at week number 2 and sort of forgiving a lot of things from week number 1?
No, because a lot of things that happened in week 1 are lingered over to week 2. You know, so that's why I'm not forgiving what happened in week 1. It's kind of like muddy water clearing, you know?
Okay.
All right. I got it. What do you think, man?
High expectations. I mean, he hit the nail right on the head there. I mean, they're going to get off light from me, clearly because we didn't have a show last week. So, you know, we've had a win and a week to get over that first game, man. But what a debacle that turned out to be. Yeah. That first quarter was the worst. I think we had like 7 or 8 penalties in the first half.
Yep.
That second quarter, they started to get into the gear. Third quarter, when we came out, I mean, we abandoned the run way too early, and we're a run-oriented team. We got to get Hillis 25 carries a game. I would have liked to see Hardesty maybe with some more action within these first 2 games, but we need to commit to the run first because that's our bread and butter right there. First game, without a doubt, our offensive line is in trouble. Eric Steinbach is a huge hole to fill.
Yes,
you know, Joe Thomas, Alex Mack, those guys are going to get it done, but you know, as far as that whole right side of the line, there's question marks. We got these young guys coming in, so definitely some holes on the offensive line. I just think that Cincy game, it came down to that one play where, you know, Hayden didn't get lined up. AJ Green went on the slant, and you know, he put one in on us, and that was the game changer right there. Momentum swang, and we were pretty much out of it. Still kind of missing that wide receiver threat that we've been looking for in week 1.
Yeah.
No big playmaker out there. We seem to be kind of using our tight ends, our safety nets. You know, I don't mind it as long as, you know, they're moving the ball down the field. And you know, game 2, I saw a whole different team out there. We came out. You know, we looked dominant, and we needed to bring it against Indianapolis, because even without Peyton Manning on there, there's still a club who knows how to win. And if you get caught looking ahead on them, they'll slap you just like Cincy slapped us. So very happy to see us at 1-1. One of the major things I think standing out to me right now is that Colt McCoy has 0 turnovers through 2 games. You know, that's huge. The other team could maybe work on that a little. They had 4 fumbles against Indy, but we still managed to pull out the win. Normally when you turn the ball over 4 more times, you're not too lucky to get the W. But
Yeah,
our
no
first
doubt.
win
Yeah.
against Indy since '94. And
I love it.
And
I love it.
Our last touchdown that was scored against Indy was by William Green in 2002. So.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up all you GDB fans? Welcome to week 2 edition of the Fantasy Factor. DST ready to break down the fantasy week and throw you a couple names off that waiver wire, and hopefully you can get a couple missing puzzle pieces and help strengthen that team. It's early. It's very important to try to grab free agents while they're still available. You know, just because a guy has an awesome week and you'll be like, and you say, oh, he plays for Oakland, you know, grab him anyways if you have the spot, because all it takes is that second good week, and the sky's the limit on some of these players. So we'll get to free agents in a minute. Right now I want to hand out our Player of the Week awards. Week 2, we got a two-way tie, both at the wide receiver position. Okay, out in Dallas, I got Miles Austin, 9 balls, 143 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was the highest scoring player of the week, and you got to love that. And number 2 might be a surprise. He came out of nowhere. Jeremy Maclin, normally Deshaun Jackson's the star out there in Philly, but they must have had him doubled up because Maclin was finding the holes. He caught 13 balls for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. If you're in a PPR league, you broke the bank with some Jeremy Maclin. So make sure you guys are starting him from now on. He clearly is getting the targets out there in Philly. All right, guys, free agent time. These are the names you guys want to go out there and get if they're still available. Quarterback position. I like Chad Henne a lot. I know some people might have scooped him up. I didn't get to talk to you guys after week 1, but he had that awesome week against the Patriots, and then he put up 400 yards again in week 2. So look for good things for him. Miami has a very favorable strength of schedule for the passing game. So if you're desperate at quarterback, maybe try to grab Chad Henne. Ryan Fitzpatrick, again, week 1 he was probably out there. He might not be now, but if he is, go out there and grab him. He's a legitimate fantasy starter in deeper leagues. Running back, we got a lot of injuries that happened this week. Some big names. Top 4 guys. Number 1, Arian Foster. He re-aggravated that hamstring, and it looks like that curse of the 1 year back out in Houston may actually be have some substance to it. I know you guys remember guys like Dominic Davis, who had a stellar year. Next year he disappeared. Steve Slayton came through, disappeared. Then Arian Foster blew up. Now it might be on to the next one. His name is Ben Tate. Go out and grab him. He had 100 and some yards week 1, week 2. Like, had another 100-yard game, and he found pay dirt. Ben Tate. Maybe definitely grab him. Also Derek Ward. He's going to be their number 2 guy now with Foster out. So maybe try to grab him too. Another big name, Kansas City. Jamal Charles, torn ACL. He is out for the year. If you have him, I'm sorry. I know he was an early top 5 pick. I know you guys probably put a lot of stock in him, but Thomas Jones is a monster. He was a monster with the Jets. Last year he still had 10 touchdowns, and he's a guy who can carry the load. He's a blue-collar back. He'll go out there and lay India, and he may not have the 80-yard touchdowns, but he'll definitely be their goal line guy. Thomas Jones, love him. Wide receivers, here we go. Eric Decker out in Denver. Brandon Lloyd was the star last year. Eddie Royal's fallen off. This guy had 10 grabs, 130 yards, and a touchdown. David Nelson, number 2 guy out in Buffalo, playing on the other side of Stevie Johnson. Like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick's out there getting it done, and he's hitting guys all over the field. This guy caught 10 balls last week, 6 targets in week 1. So those are top 10 fantasy numbers right there. You want to grab this guy, David Nelson, out there in Buffalo. And finally, Denarius Moore out in Oakland. I was real high on Jacoby Ford this year, but he only caught 1 ball in week 1, and week 2 he didn't even play. So somebody's going to catch the balls in Oakland. It's obviously not Darius Hayward-Bay. Denarius Moore is who you want to go and get. So go ahead and take a look at him. Not too many tight ends out there. Steve Johnson I like out in Buffalo. You might be able to grab him. Tight ends are rough. Kickers, who cares? Defenses, you guys should already be set on that. So I pretty much hit everything I wanted to. No questions in the inbox this week. You guys kind of left me hanging. Don't forget you can hit me up at DST@GameDayBattle.com, or you can just ask me right on the Facebook page, and I'll get back to you, help you make maybe that key lineup decision, and hopefully help you guys get that W. DST in the Fantasy Factor Week 2. I'm out, guys. Good luck. Talk to you next week.
That had the whole, I don't think it was just a misstep, a miscue, a lining up wrong. They were completely unorganized in the fourth quarter there, and a team with the same amount of time to prepare with an offensive coordinator that's brand new to the league, not just brand new to being an offensive coordinator, to the league, but a rookie quarterback at the time. It was Gronkowski, which he's a veteran quarterback, but he's new to the team, and a rookie wide receiver. They were able to get it together, recognize the situation, get on the line, and make it happen. And the Browns were standing. They didn't know what was going on. Somebody should have called a timeout. Yeah. Right, Shermer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
They definitely look flustered.
So let's just take that out of the equation. Let's say it doesn't happen. The Browns either lose by a little bit less, or they end up winning the game. With everything else that you saw, just completely removing that, are you happy with that first game?
Well, maybe they would have still lost the game. I mean, I can't control what would happen after one play, but I mean, they were shutting down the passing game until that play.
Right.
And then I believe that Dalton only played the first half, and then Bruce Gradkowski or whoever came out there, and he was still moving the ball, and he was owning us. You can't let a backup quarterback, shake you guys around.
And Gradkowski is not just some guy off the street. He's the guy that came in was last year, 2 years ago for the Raiders, and he did some good stuff for them. So I'm just saying he's a veteran. He knows what to do. He's not a starting quarterback for a reason, but we didn't get spanked by some scrub off the street. He's a guy that knows what he's doing. So
we let over 100 yards in both games by these running backs. They ate us alive. It had nothing to do with Gradkowski. Obviously, the running game's going to open up the passing game. We gave Rudy Gay or what's his name?
Cedric Benson. Oh yeah, he had a big game.
This crazy amount of yards, he was eating us alive.
That's my take on it. You cannot give an AFC North team over 100 yards rushing and expect to win. That's just the way it is. The AFC North is about running, and if you can't,
football,
it totally is. And I mean, I know a lot of the teams are getting a lot more into the sort of the flare passing and the West Coast thing, but it's still, because it snows here so often, and because the weather is the way it is in the North, all the teams geared towards running the ball. So you got to stop the run. And just on that note, McCoy, this is what I like about the first 2 weeks. 213 yards, 211, that's consistency to me. Hillis, 57 yards in that first game. Why is Hillis? He should be our staple. He should be over 100 yards. 57 yards. Matt Squire had 77 yards receiving that first game. Second game, it kind of flips a little bit. Like I said, McCoy 211 against the Colts defense. But Hillis had 94 yards. Positive note. Massaquoi down to 45 yards. So those are the leaders of the first two games. So I'm seeing an offense with a lot of consistency as far as total yardage, maybe breaking up a little bit how much they're running it, how much they're passing it. Well, I just don't understand why Hillis was not given that ball more times than maybe any other time in this season. That was his game, his time.
He had 10 carries in that first game and then 27 carries in the second game. So I mean that shows you, the production that he's capable of. But we got to be a run-first football team because we do not have a dynamic passing game, and we need to run to open up the pass, and that's just the way it is with the squad we have right now. So we got to work with it. The defense, that transition to a 4-3, I think our guys are still working on that. When you want to run a 4-3 defense and you want to take away that fourth rushing linebacker, well, then you guys need to put up a wall on the defensive line, and we're not doing that. We're getting slapped around. We are losing the battle of the trenches. Almost on both sides of the ball. Almost on offense, it looks a little bit too, like I said, our line's suffering. But our D-line, these guys got to step it up. I know they're young. Phil Taylor's a rookie. Jabal Sheard, he's a rookie, but that guy's out there looking good, man. He's got 7 tackles, 2 assists, and a sack in 2 games. So, I mean, like I said, they're still young. Let them get this figured out, but we need to plant and stop the run against other teams, because I mean, once they get you going up the gut, man, they can open you up.
The Quill is playing like a beast. 16 tackles, 2 sacks already in 2 games is monstrous.
Great.
He's setting the tone where we need to be. Like you said, Phil Taylor with a big hit on your boy Dalton, took him right out the game.